Hello and welcome. Another edition, a unique edition. I guess we should call this the premiere of Tyler Beede joining the Beede Baseball podcast. But first things first, today we are joined by SEC coach, uh, college, elite college coach, University of Texas Longhorns, Jim Schlossnagle. First and foremost, Jim, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Yeah, honored to be on. Love what you do. We've done this before, but it's always great to see you, Walter. But my man Tyler, man, so great to see him. Such great memories from our experience together on the USA team, and watching him grow and evolve, not just on the baseball field, but away from it as well. So, uh, gonna have a great time with this. Just great to see you guys.
I'm excited because obviously I speak a lot in reference to going through the college experience with my son Tyler. And I think, Ty, I really want to take the time to say thank you for joining us today on your initial podcast. Actually, this would be your second, but your first within the College Coaches Corner segment. So, welcome aboard, Captain.
This is exciting. Yeah, I made sure to sport the Longhorns gear today. Big fan of Schloss. Obviously, going on almost 10 years now since we were together with Team USA. And again, I'll echo what he said. I love what you're doing for college baseball, for youth and high school baseball, for parents, players, and coaches. And so, yeah, honored to be a part of this. Thanks, Walt.
Well, gentlemen, thank you so much. I deeply appreciate that. And Jim, I'm going to start with you. You and I have had many discussions over the last couple of years, and where I would like to start is, for me as a student athlete, when dinosaurs roamed the earth, there was Cliff Gustafson, and then next in line, when you have Augie Garrido. Texas baseball matters not only in Austin or Texas, but all over the country. They really are an iconic, what I call foundation college baseball program. What has it been like as you've been, kind of getting your team prepared during the fall? What has it been like to be around the University of Texas campus?
Yeah, it's been pretty amazing, and I want to start off by saying every place I've worked has been awesome. So anything that I would say about Texas is, I don't want that to come off as demeaning to, TCU, A&M, UNLV, any place I've been a head coach. But certainly the standard at the University of Texas is, and the success here, not just in baseball, but, across the board. I always tell people the most intimidating thing to do as a baseball coach at the University of Texas is a head coaches meeting. When you walk in and the football coach was in the playoff last year, the volleyball coaches won the last two national titles, rowing two national titles. I think with the exception of men's basketball, and we just added beach volleyball, the University of Texas has won a national championship, at least one in every single sport. So the level of excellence here over the course of many decades is just proven out, and so no one has to tell you what the standard is. And then from a baseball standpoint, nobody's been to the College World Series more than Texas 38 times. I think the next closest school is 25. They've won 6 national titles, but it's been 20 years. And there's a mural to my left here on the wall of Coach Dish, Coach Falk, Coach Gustafson, and Coach Garrido, and they stare at me every day. And so I think I'm the 6th coach in about the last 100 years. So that's an honor. But at the same time, times in college baseball have changed since 20 years ago, even since 5 years ago, even, which I know we're going to talk about. And so Texas has been one of those programs like USC, Arizona State, Stanford, Miami when Coach Frazier was there. That was just super succeeding on a very, very high level. They had a lot of resources. They were committing a lot of resources, and luckily for college baseball, there's a lot of programs like that now. And Texas is now moving into the SEC, which is a completely different animal, as we all know, as Tyler experienced at Vanderbilt. So it's an exciting time. The standard's high, but the waters are very deep. So we have a lot of work to do.
One of the things that I would love for you to discuss is, I go back talking with Rick Scott, and I really enjoyed his insight. You had just left, I had moved down to Louisiana, was spending time with Rick, and he always talked about your interactions with your student athletes. And as you alluded to earlier, you spent time with Tyler with Team USA. And I'm always fascinated by the relationships after the athletic career is done and how they continue and carry on. And I know that whether it's UNLV, TCU, Texas A&M, Tulane, can you talk about the rapport and the relationship that is developed by college coaches that, span a lifetime?
Yeah, I mean, I just think the beauty of college, right? And no disrespect to professional baseball, but when you're in college, you have 18, 19, 20, 21, 22-year-old guys that are going through 18, 19, 20 and 21-year-old guy things. And ultimately our job is character and leadership development through the sport of baseball. And Tyler certainly got that at Vanderbilt. We've tried to instill that in the programs, that I've been a part of. And we have bad days and I make mistakes too, just like everybody else does. But at the end of the day, most of these guys, if they play in the major leagues, it's not going to be an extended period of time. So you're trying to help and guide them become the very best version of themselves in all areas of their life, which is the mission statement of our program. And so, the best days are, when I get a text from a former player that says, "Coach, I'm getting married. Can you be there? Coach, I just had my first child," that kind of thing. And so, sometimes, especially this past summer, I changed schools and that was a whole thing. And people get emotional and get upset about that. And that's okay. I understand, we're trying to run a business on somebody else's passion. But at the same time, those relationships are long and deep, and specifically with Tyler and the USA guys, it's so enjoyable as a college coach when you get to coach a USA team, because it's really the closest thing to professional baseball that you get as a college coach, because there isn't recruiting. There's just playing games and traveling and spending time together on a bus or at dinner or on a plane, to Japan, long flights, and then coming back and playing Cuba and having all those experiences. And so, my relationships with the players is what I value the most about my profession. And certainly, the USA team, even though it was only a couple months, it's great to still have those. I cherish those deeply.
I didn't sleep a lick on those flights from Japan or back. I don't know about you, but I remember that was funny. We missed July 4th. We flew on July 3rd and then got to Japan on July 5th. We completely missed the 4th of July that year.